finish up with, we start with vastus medialis. We have 3 fibers there. So the first one, we're gonna have kind of internal rotation, plantar flexion of the foot. We're gonna have knee flexion, and we're gonna take the heel to the level of the opposite knee into this externally rotated position. The internal rotation of the tibia, external rotation of the hip, plantar flexion of the foot. And we're gonna, Matt, I'm gonna resist that, or you're gonna resist that, so hold. That's for the upper fibers. Just for the test, I'm gonna drop down and show you all the tests first. We'll go down to mid-shin, same position, hip and knee, except we're further down to the shin, and hold, no, other way. Pull in, hold, I got you, right there. That's for the middle fibers, the vastus medialis. And then we're gonna go inferior fibers to the level of the medial malleolus on the opposite leg, and hold. Good. So that's upper, middle, and lower fibers of vastus medialis. For our DIFA-MATs, upper fibers, squeeze, make a muscle here, we're gonna find his quads. We're gonna come in on the medial aspect of the upper fibers. For the upper fibers, we'll come onto the quad tendon and superior pole of the patella, as well as the infrapatellar tendon and tibial tubercle. And we'll retest upper fibers with internal rotation of the foot, level of the other, hold right there, hold, good. For our picks, hold there 10%, hold 6 seconds, 6 times for 10%. To retest middle fibers of vastus medialis, we'll come mid-shin, hold right there, hold, retest, okay. Middle fibers, I'm gonna come to the middle third of the femur. Superior pole of the patella. From the medial side of the patella, medial side of the infrapatellar tendon and tibial tubercle, okay? Retest middle fibers of vastus medialis, hold. Good, follow it up with a pick, 10%, 6-second hold, at 10%. Retested. Lower fibers, heel at the level of the medial malleolus, and hold. Good. Lower fibers of vastus medialis, suprapatellar tendon, infrapatellar tendon on the medial side. Hold, retest. Good. Our picks, excuse me, 6-second holds, 6 times at 10%. Hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay? So then we'll have vastus lateralis. What? Upper. Yeah, upper fibers. So all of these, I would do the upper fibers first, test it, do your DIFA-MATs, and then your picks, and then I'd go to the middle and inferior fibers. For the case of the video, not being 4 hours long, we'll do them. We'll do all the tests one at a time, or together. So we're gonna have hip flexion. Again, we're gonna have the heel at the level of the opposite patella. We're gonna have internal rotation, plantar flexion, eversion of the foot. And then Matt, I'm gonna pull you this way, try to resist that motion. Hold, hold. Upper fibers of vastus lateralis. Then we're gonna come down, externally rotated. We're gonna have heel to the level of the mid-shin and hold, hold. Good. For the lower fibers of vastus lateralis, we're going to drop down to the medial malleolus, opposite leg, same positioning, only further hip extension, and then hold. Hold. Good. Our DIFA-MATs, coming up off of squeeze your muscle tight, relax. So upper fibers of vastus lateralis. Then we're going to come off lateral, superior pole of the patella, infrapatellar tendon, and tibial tuberosity. Laterally. Retest upper fibers, plantar flexed and everted. and hold. Good. Our picks, hold right there, 10%. 6 seconds, 6 times for 10%. Mid chin for the middle fibers of vastus lateralis. Retest here, hold here, right there, good. Our DFMAT's there, we're gonna come laterally. On that middle third of the femur laterally. Lateral suprapatellar pouch, superior pole of the patella, infrapatellar tendon laterally. Retest. Hold right there. Good. Picks, 6 times, 6 seconds. Hold right there, push out. Plantar flex deverted. 6 times 6 times 10%. Now for the lower fibers, on the distal third of the femur, into that suprapatellar pouch again, infrapatellar tendon, and retest. Heel at the level of the distal malleolus. Hold right there, Matt. Hold. Retest. Our picks. Contract out, hold into my hand, relax and hold. 6 times, 6 second hold. 10%. Vastus lateralis, upper medial and lower fibers.
Intermedius.
Which one?
Intermedius.
Intermedius. Vastus intermedius. We got lateral fibers. So we're gonna have 110 degrees of knee flexion. Lateral fibers, we're gonna externally rotate the foot. And then I'm gonna have you push, excuse me, kick into my hand. Good. For my DFMAT, I'll come, you wanna be under rectus, so the lateral fibers, the intermedius is underneath the rectus femoris. So we attack those lateral fibers, lateral to the rectus. Okay, and we'll come into the suprapatellar pouch more centrally, off the superior pole of the patella, into the infrapatellar tendon and tibial tuberosity. Okay. To retest lateral fibers, external rotation, knee flexion to 110, push into my hand. Good. Picks. Have him relax there and contract, external rotation, knee flexion, remove, he's pushing into knee extension. 6 times 6, 10%. Vastus intermedius, medial fibers, knee flexion 110, internal rotation. Same thing, we're gonna push him into, he's gonna kick into extension, we're gonna resist into flexion. So as he tries to straighten his leg, test for strength. DFMAT, same thing, medial fibers under the rectus medially. So we start high, come down lower. Vastus mat, intermedius lateral fibers, or medial fibers, excuse me, into that suprapatellar tendon, superior pole of the patella, infrapatellar tendon, tibial tubercle. Retest, flexion 110, internal rotation, kick, 10%, 6 times, 6 second hold for our picks. Articulars, genuine. I'm gonna have Matt just rest his knee on mine. And so, to test, I'm just gonna have Matt straighten his leg. The foot is gonna be in neutral. Good, test the strength there. I'm gonna go through all the quad tendon, where you have the muscle tendon junction, and then in right off the superior pole of the patella. Infrapatellar tendon, I suppose you could do also. Okay. Retest, straighten the leg, foot neutral. And then for the picks, he's just gonna straighten your leg for me, Matt. Good. Contract 6 seconds, 6 times for 10%.
Medial gastric.
Medial gastric, so gastrocnemius medial head. Matt is gonna have his hip flex at 45, knee at 90. I'm gonna have him fully plantar flex. So Matt, scoot out to the edge of the table here. There you go. Hip at 45, knee at 90. Foot fully plantar flex. For the medial fibers, I'm gonna have him adduct the foot, And then I'm gonna have him hold into resisted knee flexion. While I'm here, just so he doesn't flip back and forth, the lateral fibers, I'm gonna have him externally rotate plantar flex fully and resist that same knee flexion. While I'm here, I might as well just do plantaris. Plantaris is gonna be the same thing, foot neutral, foot fully plantar flexed, 45 and 90, and then resist. So we've got plantar flexion inversion for medial head, plantar flexion eversion for lateral head, and central neutral foot plantar flexed for plantaris. So go to your stomach to do the defamats. Medial head, the gastrocnemius comes approximately above the medial joint line, so you have to get through the medial hamstring and get to that medial head proximal to the joint line on the femoral condyle. We can come through the mid-belly of the medial head of the gastroc into that medial aspect Achilles tendon and the tenoosseous junction at the calcaneus. For the defamat for the lateral head, again, we're coming, here's his hamstring right here. We're gonna come under that proximally on his lateral femoral condyle and do his defamat there. We can come through the lateral, which is very superficial. This is the most superficial of the posterior compartment, bulky muscle. And lateral aspect, tenoosseous junction at the Achilles tendon right off the calcaneus. For plantaris, that's going to be above and lateral, just medial to the hamstring, and come in through there, and it coerces down through the popliteal fossa at a 45-degree angle. Long tendon as we come in to the tenoosseous junction at the calcaneus. Okay, all of those we can retest. Go ahead, go back to your back. Hip flex, 45 degrees, 90 degrees of knee flexion, full plantar flexion, internal rotation or adduction of the foot. Hold right there for medial gastroc head. For our picks, same position, a little more knee flexion there. Pull, 10%, 6 seconds times 6 reps. Lateral head to retest, plantar flexion eversion, fully plantar flex, keep the toes curled, hold. For our picks, same thing, just relax and then fire 10%, 6 times 6 for lateral head. Plantaris, neutral foot, toes curls, plantar flexed. Retest here with knee flexion, resisted knee flexion. Picks, 10%, relax and hold. Good. 6 times 6, yeah, keep that plantar flexion. 6 times 6 times 10 for 10% contraction for the picks. Repeat 6 times. Nice. Okay. Popliteus. Popliteus, we're gonna have that 45 in knee flexion. We're gonna internally rotate and foot adduction. And then I'm gonna have you hold that position, Matt. Hold. Resist. We're turning him into adduction. He's gonna resist that. For our defamat, we're gonna go prone. Proximally, just proximal and medial to the fibular head. Fibular head out. Right in that joint line space that has attachments to the lateral meniscus, and then we'll coerce down where it fans out into that medial tibia. Oh, a deeper pressure there. Okay, that's our defamat. Go to your back. Retest. Hip 45, knee 90. Adduction. Hold. Good. For our relax now. For our picks, well, have him internally rotate. Same position as test. Relax. Now fire. Hold 6 times 6. 10%. For our picks.
Good job.
What next?
Soleus.
Soleus. So let's go prone. Soleus medial and lateral fibers. We're gonna have hip is neutral, flat on the table. We're gonna flex the knee to 90. We're gonna fully plantar flex. And for lateral fibers, we're gonna evert the foot. Pressure is gonna be straight down. Hold that position right there. Hold, hold, hold. Good, pretty strong there. Matt has some mass back here. So the soleus, we're gonna come in on the lateral fibers and do our DIFA-mat. Okay. Into the Achilles laterally off the tenoosseous junction. To retest, we're gonna have to switch positions, which is nice. Plantar flexed and everted. Evert first, then plantar flexed. Position left. Toes are curled, and then push. Okay. Now, for our picks, same position. Evert first, toes curled, and then plantar flex, and then just hold that. Just contract really against gravity's good there. So just 10%, 6 times 6. For the medial fibers, knee stays bent at 90. Plantar flexion, toe curl, it stays the same, only we're gonna internally rotate actively. Again, stabilize the calcaneus and push. Again, really strong here. Soleus as it comes down through that medial hip, medial fibers of the soleus. And then into the tenoosseous junction or medially. Knee flexed, internally rotated, toes curled, hold again, push. Good. For the picks, maintain that position, now relax, now push into my hand. Good. Contract submaximally 10%, 6 seconds, 6 times. Okay. What is the next? Pronaos longus?
Yeah.
Pronaos longus, hip 45, knee 90. We're gonna have him fully plantar flexed, toes curled, and we're gonna have him adduct the foot for the cuneiform branch. And then I'm gonna have you hold there, Matt. Don't let me move you. I'm gonna try and take you here. Hold. We're taking him across into adduction. So that's our test. He's cramping. Wasn't all that weak. Fibula right here. So we're on that fibula on the superior third of the fibula, doing our DIFA-mat. Okay. We're going to come down under the plantar surface of the foot, base of the first metatarsal. Here we're going to go to the cuneiform, right there on the plantar surface, and do our DIFA-mat there. And we're going to retest, adduct the foot, hold, hold, good. Our picks, relax. Hold that position right there, relax 1 second. Now fire, push 6 times 6 seconds, 10% contraction, trying to push him into adduction. Hip knee should be bent at 90 degrees. The metatarsal branch is same positionally, fully abducted, knee flexed at 90, hip at 45. To test, we're gonna do the metatarsal branch, so we're gonna try to pull him out of plantar flexion of the first metatarsal, so toes flexed, curled, same position as the cuneiform, only now I'm trying to lift his first metatarsal off the table, okay? For our DIFA-mat, again, proximal third of the fibular head, only now, instead of further distally proximally on the cuneiform, I'm gonna come distally off to that metatarsal head on the plantar surface and do our DIFA-mats there. Retest, abduction of the foot, fully plantar flexed, toes curled. Try to lift first metatarsal. And then our picks, same position, relax for a second, Matt, now pushed into my hand. 6 seconds, 6 times, 10%. What 2 divisions are there?
Lateral.
Lateral. So Pronaos brevis is you got 2 branches. The lateral branch lateral and how they describe it?
Posterior.
Yeah, lateral and posterior. To me, they're synonymous, but whatever. The difference with this one is toes curled, plantar flexed. Instead of full abduction, we're going to do slight abduction. The lateral fibers, we're going to push. So we're not fully abducted. We're slight abduction, toes curled, full plantar flexion, and then resist, hold, take them into adduction. DFM-ATs are going to go a little bit more distal, so we're on the lateral aspect of the fibula, not posterior behind it, more just lateral in that middle third of the fibula. And then the brevis, we're going to come out to the base of the fifth metatarsal for our DFM-ATs distally. Okay. Retest. Take him into full abduction. We're going to slightly come out of that, so he's slight abducted, full plantar flexion, toes curled, and then push. Good. Now, for the picks, slight abduction, plantar flexion of the toes, and then fire into my hand just 10%. A little more, Matt. Push. There you go. 6 times, 6 second holds. 10%. Posterior. Again, similar position, slight abduction, toes curled, fully plantar flexed. This time when I apply my force, I'm going to try to take him into inversion of the foot. So we're having abduction and eversion of the foot. And so with this posterior branch, so down, abducted, forefoot everted, and then hold, and I'm taking him taking him into that inverted on an oblique force. Same middle third of the fibula, and then off the base of the fifth metatarsal, more posteriorly around the plantar surface. Retest, plantar flexion, slight adduction, everted, forefoot, hold. Okay, for our picks, eversion of the foot, adduction, slight, and then hold, hold push, 10%, 6 times, 6 second holds. What we got?
Tertius fibular division.
Perone's tertius fibular interossei division.
Fibular and interossei.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Perone's tertius comes across the lateral malleolus, so it dorsiflex, everts the forefoot and adducts. Toes are curled. And then we're going to resist into dorsiflex, push down, and into plantar flexion. Yep, hold. Good. So distal third of the fibula for our DFM-AT. And we're on that fibular division. Okay. And then we're on top of that base of the fifth metatarsal off the styloid process for the DFM-AT distally. Now, we're going to retest forefoot eversion, toes curled, and then hold. Okay. Now, the interossei division, we're more straight. We have kind of fully everted, but not so abducted. Because it's more central, so it's more true dorsiflexion. And where toes are curled, we're going to hold right there. Hold. Good. Relax. DFM-AT, we're going to go between the fibula and the tibia, more more to that interosseous side of the fibula, so not more central, but not quite central. And then we're going to do the base of the fifth metatarsal again. Again, dorsiflexion, plantar toes are curled, and then hold. Good. For our picks, same position, have them relax a second, and then fire into my hand 6 times, 6 seconds, 10%. Perone's tertius, both divisions.
Posterior tibial division.
Posterior tibial division. Relax. So posterior tib, knee 90, okay? So we're gonna have adduction, okay, of the foot, and then I'm gonna have you plantar flexion of the toes or flex toes, and then hold. Okay, posterior tib. For our DFM-AT, we'll come in off retest here. And then we're gonna come into the cuboid cuneiforms in the base of the metatarsals. Retest, adduct, hold, picks, relax, toes curled, push into my hand 10%, 6 times, 6 seconds.
Fibular division. Posterior tib.
Now, the fibular division. So with this one, the fibular division, similar setup, only now he's gonna come more into a forefoot supinated or inversion oblique position. Okay, hold right there, hold, good. So now we're gonna go a little bit more posteriorly through the calf into that fibular division of the posterior tib. I kind of use both hands for this. On the fibular side. With the knee flexed, it kind of takes away some of the tension in the gastroc so you can get down into the posterior tib. And then again, into the cuneiforms, cuboid, and for the base of the metatarsal head on the undersurface. Again, retest, supinated foot, hold. Good. Our picks, relax. I want you to just push into my hand, push. 6 times, 6 second holds, 10%. 6 times.
Anterior tib, tibial division.
Anterior tib, tibial division. So you have tibial and interossei division. Okay, so we got dorsiflexion, toes are curled. Okay, we're gonna have inversion of the foot, so hold right there. Abduction of the foot and hold. Taking them down on that oblique angle and dorsiflexion. Okay, down and out. Relax. Diphomats coming off the lateral side of the tibia where the tib anterior kind of has that adjacent run against the tibia. Do our diphomats through there. Okay. And coming in base of the first metatarsal. Dorsum. Plantar aspect of the foot. Okay. Again, to retest, hold up and in, toes curled, and hold. Good. To pick, toes curled, relax, now fire. Hold 10%, 6 times, 6 seconds. Okay. Tibial division, or the interossei division is going to be more straight, vertical, and toes curled, and then hold. Good. Relax. So now we're going on the lateral border of the tib anterior, the interosseous aspect, doing our diphomats. And next we're gonna bring them up toes curled, don't let the toes extend, and hold. Good. Relax. Oh, the picks. 10%, 6 times, 6 second holds.
Good job.
That it?
That'll do it.
Good.